everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Dolphins going up against the Eagles. So let's send you up to Pennsylvania. Standing by in Philadelphia are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look live there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles. They come out with one back and three tight ends. And incomplete to open things up. And on your screen, the offensive starters, Jarvis Landry, a guy that we profiled.
Love his game. Not only is he going to beat you with athleticism, he's going to outwork you as well. And look for him to hurt you also in the kick return game.
Back to the air, Tannehill on second down. And it's complete. The tight end, Deion Sims. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. So they get the completion. That's good. But, Charles, probably not good to get hit on the first play of the game.
No coaching staff ever wants their quarterback hit on any passing play, especially to start the game. What you're hoping is you have one of those tough guys back there. Because sometimes when they get hit early, gets the juices flowing, and they get right into the game.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he stopped immediately there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
They run again with Ajayi. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Defensive side of the ball for the Eagles. Here they are, the starting 11. And you were telling me before the game, taking this from your knowledge bank, that if they need to improve anywhere in 2017, maybe in the secondary. Is that right?
I think you're right on that one because I think they're very happy with Malcolm Jenkins and Rodney McLeod down the middle as the safeties. But they'd love to make an upgrade at the corner position because if you're playing in the NFC East, there's some guys who can go out and get the football. And then I think up front, they're looking for a bigger year from Fletcher Cox. He's their bell cow on defense, a defensive tackle, defensive end. They need to have that all-pro season from him again in 2017. For someone who piled up the yardage that Jay Ajayi did in 2016, I think it was a strange type of a year. How many runners do you know that will end the season with more 200-yard games on the ground than 100-yard games and end up over 1,000.
Very, very strange. 3 200-yard games, just one 100-yard game. All in all, though, how do you see a season? A rough start, but looked pretty good in the end.
Rough start, but a really good offensive line that continues to grow. I think the future's really bright for Jay Ajayi and the Dolphins next season.
Tannehill now, they give to Ajayi. And a short gain here, down to the 22. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down of the yard.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play, only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they got to make sure that they don't lose their focus. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On the ground, the first carry for Ryan Matthews. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
They go play action for Matthews. Now Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And Selleck here, left side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, I think, forget it. I know it's the right play. If you're going to throw to someone in the end zone, you want one of those long targets, as we just saw there. Just unable to get his feet down and make it a touchdown.
On 2nd down, Ryan Matthews. Let's expand on Ryan Matthews for a second. He has a couple 1,000-yard years in his back pocket. This season, 661. Did have a career-high 8 touchdowns, but where does he fit in to the Eagles' offense going forward?
That's going to be an interesting question that has to be answered by Philadelphia, by Doug Peterson, their head coach, because
into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And Landry just snuck into the top 10 this year in receiving yardage, 1,136, finishing the year with 94 catches.
And what makes him super dangerous is his ability to convert from being a wide receiver to a running back after making the catch. Because I've talked with a number of defensive backs in the NFL, and all of them, independent of each other, say the exact same thing. Tackling him in the open field is difficult, and he leaves an impact when you do actually bring him down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Michael Kendricks from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. They run with Ajayi. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Tannehill. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. On 4th down, Tannehill finding time. And it is incomplete. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams in Arizona, those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Let's go. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. He's got time. All kinds of time. And this is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. This is Ajayi. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They set up the screen to Ajayi. A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So a big sack on 2nd down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for 3rd. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Deion Sims in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Dolphins are in for 6. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And did the Dolphins get it? Yes. Miami football. Well, they just scored, they got the lead, and they decide to keep their foot on the accelerator, so to speak.
Scouting, scouting, scouting. They had to have seen something in their preparation for this game that told them in this situation, if they get the look they like, let's go ahead and go for it anyway. They like being bold.
Here's Ajayi. They find some open field here. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation.
Yeah, that's perfect. 2, Davis, deep. Hey, I got to go.
Okay, and sorry about that. Didn't know Larry got cut off early. We are back and ready for the third quarter. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Let's go! 3-19!
So the D-line's going to spread out. On first down, Wentz. Dancing to his left. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now it's Ajayi. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop. Second down to the offense needing 5 yards.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use the speed to get there in the run game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them. That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Now it's Tannehill. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Marquise Gray, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
He was looking to hit Ryan Matthews there out of the backfield. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And there was a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Ertz has it left side. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Offense still needing 10 yards, 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing, and on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The veteran Brent Selleck, the one he was looking for. And 4th down coming up. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge.